Welcome
Welcome.
to Shade and the City. I am your girl Treese.
It's Nels.
And today, y'all, we are here to get into our recap of Before the 90 Days, Season 7, Episode 21, The Tell-All, Part 2. So yeah, y'all, me and Nels were just talking about this before we got up here. I'm mad because we have to come back for Part 3. For what? For what? But yeah.
You sound like Adnan right now. He was like, I'm not going to be talking to a woman and no man is there. For what? For what?
For what? That's funny. But yeah, y'all. So we appreciate you being here and getting through this with us. Drop down in the comments. Let us know what you thought about this episode. And was it a good episode? Nell said she was bored. I said, I guess because I was watching in the background, it wasn't too, it is what it is. But yeah, y'all, if you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead and hit that like button for us.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, we about to get right into it. And yeah, let's get shady. Before we get started, let me just say, I don't even want to say prayers up, but y'all make sure y'all stay safe. I know a lot of y'all are experiencing winter weather that y'all are not accustomed to, i.e., Texas, New Orleans, parts of Florida.
Georgia.
Y'all, if y'all didn't believe that climate change was real, I think hell is literally freezing over. Okay. I'm just
But keep
saying.
them 90 music videos coming.
What happened?
You ain't see them people making 90
Oh, yes.
music
Yes. I do
videos
appreciate
in the snore in the
I,
snow.
I do appreciate the videos from y'all. The very, it's nice. Again, I guess because we experience it not that often as I would like, but often enough that it's just like, okay, snow. Like on my timeline, I see the people being like, yes, we know it's snowing outside. We know what snow looks like. Y'all stop posting pictures. So yes, it is nice to see people who actually enjoy it. But yeah, y'all. So Niles, we start this episode off. Niles is threatening to break Adnan's face, and Adnan wants to know what he did wrong. He was, he was just giving his opinion. That's what everybody else wanted to do. So he was just giving his opinion. Now, Adnan got on my last nerve.
Sean moved. That man.
Huh?
He was trying to provoke that man.
Absolutely. So Sean moves on to talk about Niles masking and not realizing when he doesn't tell the truth. She wants clarity on how there could be any confusion with you going somewhere to get to know someone versus coming to get married. And so Niles is looking to Matilda for help, and she just sitting there quiet. She's like, "No, I ain't gonna help you out this one because you know what you did. You know you lied. So go ahead, get yourself out of this one." So then Brian STFU. Okay. Brian chimes in and thinks Niles has issues saying no. And Niles admits that, he's the one that brought up marriage at first. And so next they bring on Mr. Ark and ask if Niles, they ask Mr. Ark, has Niles broken his promise? Which we all know he has. So that was kind of like, duh. It's been over 5 months. It's been 11 months now. Come on. And Sean lets him know that Niles doesn't have the additional 4K that he needs to get there. So they get into Niles' new job, which I think that we've talked about. And he says he makes enough. I guess he said he works in the state mental health department. And if I'm not mistaken, he's a director, right? So he says he makes enough to pay his bills and send her a little money on the side. Okay. And so Sean asked Matilda if she preferred Niles to use some of that money to visit her in Ghana. And she agrees that she would, rather see him, even if it prolongs the visa process. So Niles says that he does plan to go visit her. And when they ask Adnan his opinion, he wants to talk to Niles about speaking on his relationship and his family. And when they try to move on, Adnan asks Niles again if he supports his relationship and does he like his family. And so Niles tries to get him to see that, look, bro, the segment isn't about you, son. Chill. It's about me for once. No, it's not about you. And so now, takes he out there woosahing and doing all this. And Adnan asked him again, do you support me? Do you like my family? And so Niles asked production to get him off the stage. And Matilda's in the background. Calm down, Niles. Calm down. Like she can really do something from the screen, but you know what I'm
I
saying.
love when she said, "Mind the way you talking to my husband." I said, you better, Matilda. You better tell that man chill out talking to my man like that. Mm-mm.
And then Niles walks off stage, y'all.
Adnan, I guess he was just trying to provoke everybody, okay? Because then he started talking to Mr. Ark. He got a little too excited. Mr. Ark said, "Listen, homeboy, calm down."
No, it was when he was like, "Hey, uncle." That's
Yeah,
not his name.
he was
He was
like,
being disrespectful.
absolutely. Then Sean basically she addressed the fans question and basically said, you know, they felt like Mr. Ark insisted that Niles married Matilda on that trip, and he said no, that's not what happened. He told him about the bride price, and Matilda also said that Niles wasn't forced. He learned about their customs and he decided it on his own. Vanya, she kept on. Now she needed to STFU, okay? She just kept on jumping and stuff. It had nothing to do with her. And man,
Because she ain't got nothing going on. Go.
exactly. You giving out advice and don't nobody want it because it ain't working for you. Okay. So Vanya basically said, it looked like it felt forced. While others basically said, they felt like it was a money thing, or basically, I think it was Sonny. He was like, he a grown ass man. Okay. He made that decision on his own.
Right.
Then
And look, and he said, and Mr. Ark just helped him.
And then when he came back, when Niles came back out, Mr. Ark told him that he needs to apologize for leaving, that no matter what happens, no matter how people disrespect you, you need to keep a cool heart. So it looked like it took a lot, but the words did leave his lips. Okay. He did apologize. Then Adnan started up again. Okay. And said, he respects him, but Niles hurt his feelings earlier. And Niles said, listen, this is not the time or the place, man. Okay. Adnan kept on going. Matilda got emotional. And once again, was trying to calm, he was trying to calm
Did
himself down.
she
What?
get emotional?
I mean, she did like this.
Well, that if that was Mia, you would say she wasn't emotional. So I'm asking, did she really get emotional?
That's because Mia be lying.
Oh, okay.
Well,
according to Tiger Lily, so do Matilda. Tiger Lily got a lot of mouth for someone
what
who
she
ain't
know
got.
about Tiger Lily? I mean, what Tiger Lily know about Matilda?
What's so crazy to me is she got a lot of mouth for someone who can't speak up to her husband. But
Exactly. So Sean wanted to know if Niles paid his debt. Mr. R said he paid me everything. I got everything. Okay. Then they have a conversation about how many children. Apparently, this is not a conversation that they had before. And listen, they just said that they want kids so they can do the squishy. That squishy thing be getting on my damn nerves. Tiger Lily told production that she didn't see
squishy.
You like that, don't you?
Maybe because I have the cheeks for it. So yeah, I do kind of like it.
Oh my god. So Tiger Lily
don't judge me. Listen and don't judge.
I'm a Virgo. That game ain't for us. So Tiger Lily told production that she didn't see any need to defend her husband because he told the truth, saying that Niles is the sugar daddy, and that's exactly the type of relationship they had. And say that man better get a better job because Matilda's not gonna put up with the job that he got now. Okay, she won't be happy with that salary. Niles got on FaceTime with Matilda to make sure she was doing okay, and she said she's fine. She just wants him to calm down and told him to forget about Adnan and move on from this. Vanya asked Lauren about his girlfriend test. I don't even know why she was interested in this.
I don't either.
It was like 3 minutes wasted of my damn time. After break, production was able to get Bojo back to return, and he said Julia Roberts would be proud of him because he's run away, Bojo. He references a lot of movies.
He does. Then I don't even know why. I mean, I guess they brought Bojo back just to say Bojo was back, but I felt like they could have left this for part 3 because
Or exactly, because he's back for what? He ain't talking in
right.
this.
They don't he adds nothing. So then Sean moves on to Joe and Magda. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Couldn't wait to get into this one. So she asked the status of the relationship, and Magda says that she's happy to be with Joe. Um, Joe concurs with her statement, and then Magda came to America to visit his family and his friends. Sean is like, "Oh, did you like the friends?" And Joe said something about like, "Yeah, they said Magda would like,
You know what? You know where Sean was trying to get with that.
right."
Because
And of course,
Magda was real shush mouth, but she really
right.
wanted to know if she met the
If
friend.
she met, what was it, Lillian or something like that?
Is that the name?
No, Jill. Jill.
I just know it's the one that he smashed.
Okay. Well, I don't think I don't think she met Jill. We learned that they're not
She said she
engaged.
met all the friends.
Hmm. Um, again, I say we learned that they're not engaged. When Sean asked Joe why, he says that he wanted it to be unexpected rather than a business transaction, because she kept asking. And so Magda said it's because he has to apply for a visa. So I get where she's coming from. I need to know where are we going? What are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
No shade, Magda. That's your fault because you don't put your life on hold waiting on him. And it sounds like you need to keep going and doing until he give you a reason to not go and do. And right now he hasn't given you that reason. Just my
Because
thought.
he probably going and doing.
Look, it sounds like you just don't want to work. But anyway, so Joe
Maybe
says,
to the house
huh?
to go and do.
What'd you say?
Busting U-turns to the house to go and do.
Okay. Oh, that part. So Joe says there's nothing that's keeping him from proposing. He just, waiting for the right time and says that there's no rush for him. So then they ask how long Brian chimes in and asks
I
her
love
how
this
long
part.
she's willing to wait. And Brian looked like she young too, and ooh.
Brian looked like he was feeling her. Did
I was
he?
gonna say, I think that's Brian. That's definitely Brian's type. And she's not sure. Sean asked how many times she's asked, and he said it was about once a week she was asking. And he said, I don't want to waste her time or my time. Well, sir, that's kind of what you're doing at this point.
I loved when Brian was like, if you keep her waiting too long, she gonna get tired of waiting. He said, Joey said, listen, I know that you didn't propose like 7 times.
7 times, right. Um, so then Sean brings up her putting a ring on her finger, I guess to, deter other men from hitting on her. And yeah, Magda says that Joey knew about this, and Joey denies that. He's like, not until she told me she was doing that crazy shit. He said, no, I didn't know she was doing
But then
that.
it was crazy because when he said that, she was like, well, he told me that he wanted to marry me and he wanted kids. And I was like, but that didn't mean that he knew about the ring, girl.
Right. So then Sean asks the cast if they feel Magda is pushing him, and they agree that she is pushing him. But Vanya says she can understand.
Of course she does.
Sean, huh?
Of course she does.
Right. Sean brings up. I knew she was gonna agree. Sean brings him go running back, spinning the block to go get his passport when we first saw him the first episode, and all the cast. Okay, so they show the footage, and they make it seem like this is. I don't care what nobody say. This is a legend. This is just my opinion. Now, I told y'all if y'all go back and watch that episode, and y'all can catch it in the playlist, okay? But if y'all go back and watch the episode when we first saw Joey and he almost missed that flight, I said he probably had a girl or something in that house, and that's why he woke up.
And he woke up with something all over his face, didn't he?
Right, and I was like, that's why he probably woke up late. And I know y'all thought I was probably out here being a conspiracy theorist and making up things and I was crazy. But Joey tells us no, the real reason is because he wanted to get his shooters. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. Joe does real estate. Seems like he makes very good money. Um, Seemed like he drove a nice whip. Just paid and went to Poland, and I'm sure he paid for everything while he was there. You mean to tell me you really stunting some drinks on a plane?
Might have to pay more for a missed flight rather than paying for $12 drinks.
Right. I don't believe it. I believe my narrative. I'm sorry. I believe my narrative. I'm just.
What do you think? Somebody was in the house?
Mhm. And just because he shut the lights off, that don't mean that was downstairs. It looked like it had an upstairs. That don't mean nothing. Go with the look. He probably told him, just go with the flow. I left the money on the dresser. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh.
But anyway. So then Vanya talks to Tiger Lily backstage, and when Adnan shows up, he tells Vanya, let me hook you up with one of my brothers or whatever. And well, they were having a
He said he got
conversation.
14.
Yeah, he said
didn't
he
mean,
got 14 brothers.
You don't mean actual brothers, right?
I think it's a mix because didn't his dad get remarried again?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, she's like, nah, I could never cover up like Tiger Lily. And then he basically starts to taunt her and make fun of her and says that, yeah, because you like the attention and that's why you're exposed with sparkles on, bitch. You like that.
You know
And
what,
so
though? Let me tell you something. I feel like maybe had it been a different situation, I'd have been like, man, that was kind of messed up. But the fact that she said I can't be covered up like Tiger Lily, I didn't feel no type of way that he went in on her.
oh, I know, because I felt like that was a dig too.
Yeah.
Hmm. So then when Tiger Lily tries to leave, because she's like, okay, I'm clearly not interested in having a conversation with this weird girl. And so Vanya's like, well, I'm not. Why don't you stay and talk? And so Tiger Lily lets her know that no, he can't do that.
First of all, Muslim or not, religion or not,
This one,
we're gonna have a problem just because you even suggested that my man stay behind and talk to you. It'd be different. No, let's not get this twisted. I mean, I'm probably not gonna leave the conversation, but if I was leaving the conversation and they were already having a conversation, okay, maybe. But the fact that you suggest, oh no, why don't you stay behind and talk to me? Just like he said, for what? For what? No, it'd have been a problem. And it's not about religion.
well, so they leave, they try to leave, and then Adnan basically is like, why do you want to have a conversation with me? About what? What are we talking about? And he's like, especially based on how you're dressed, I can't even look at you. I said, damn. And so then when they go back to stage, Sean is asking what happened. And, Tiger Lily explains that it's just what they do in their marriage out of respect. She said if Adnan and Joe were having a conversation and Adnan left, she would leave with them as well. That's just how they show respect to each other. And then, yeah, you can move on to Sonny and Vaya.
All right. So Sean moves on to Sonny and Vaya. And they explain that when they got back home, they were still struggling a little bit with the daddy issues. So they ended up breaking up. He said that they only talked twice during that time because he wanted to give her space, but then he found out she was seeing somebody else. Apparently, the issue was who she was seeing. Okay. She said that she went on a date, okay, with this person to Disney. Okay, they didn't kiss. It didn't go any further than that. And Brian think that she's lying because he said she's looking up in the sky when she's talking. You're lying, girl. You're lying. All right. Apparently, Sonny saw the messages on Snapchat and got super jealous because of who it was, which was this guy, Zyra, who was her dog sitter while she was going to South Africa. Now, we saw Zyra, okay? And I'm not going to say that Sonny is like the finest, okay? But, man, what are you doing? When you leave, you're supposed to date up.
You stupid.
Zyra was not up, okay?
No, it wasn't. I was like, not the dog sitter.
The dog sitter, and he was given we're like cool.
While Sonny out here working his dad's business and paying for visas.
I don't know. Zyra gives the only reason why I knew him is because I knew him from the second grade. Otherwise, we would have no reason to talk.
He's dog sitting.
I wasn't even talking about him dog sitting. Just, But regardless, she said that they're back together now and have been, for a few months. Adnan told him, "What's wrong with you? You need to be more like me and be controlling." I said, "Anna, you was getting mad at people trying to make you Brian trying to make you like him, giving you bad advice. Now you're gonna tell this man to be controlling like you." Sonny said, "I'm not gonna be like you. Okay. If I was like you, I'd be destroying my relationship. And so I'm trying to build one." I said, "Oh, go on, Sonny. Okay, talk your." Sean gets into how Adnan feels that men and women can't be friends, and then asks everybody how they feel about their partner being friends with their ex, and everybody basically said, "Hell no," except for dumbass Vanya. I mean, we gotta take into consideration all these things that she's bringing to the forefront as to why.
Right. And we know maybe why she's had such a hard time finding love.
I like the way you said that.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't
Thanks.
gonna come out my mouth like that.
Thanks. That look, that's what therapy do.
Girl, I've been in therapy. It wasn't gonna come out like that still. Good job, good job. Um, Now Sean asked what their future looks like, and he said that his visa in South Africa is about to expire, so he's gonna go to Bangladesh for a while. And Vanya plans to visit him there. So he's gonna stay there until his visa here gets approved, so that he can be with Vanya. I said Vanya. I mean Vaya. Goodness gracious. These names is too close too.
Adnan jumps on Sonny basically for having sex before marriage. And so Vea jumps in trying to defend him. And Adnan is like, basically just admit that you're an atheist, okay? Because you just don't follow none of the rules. And so Sonny makes it clear everyone, makes mistakes, and he's went to Allah and asked for forgiveness. And he said he does religion for himself and not for other people. And I said, you better, Sonny. However, it's real.
I couldn't understand how Vaya tried to jump in it, and you don't know nothing about the relationship, man. I mean, about the religion. How you gonna speak on something you don't know nothing about?
Well, Adnan then attacks him for not having, Vea convert. Vanya brings up that Tiger Lily didn't either, but Adnan says it's because she's Christian. Vea says, well, I am as well. I know Jesus. Okay.
You didn't get the vibe that she was atheist too?
So Tiger Lily, look, my
Right.
notes say, so Tiger Lily finally decides to speak up and say she thought she was an atheist, which upsets Vea. So then Tiger Lily asked if he wants Vea to convert, and he said not right now, because he knows that's going to push her away. However, he hopes in the future she would and be more willing to do so after learning more about the religion. Vea makes it clear, I have no plans. No, 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 no way.
He keeps on saying it. I'm never going to convert.
I'm not doing it. Okay. And
but clearly conversion is not a big deal, because I mean Adnan.
Well, no, Adnan. No, what it sounds like is Adnan. It's not a big deal, but Adnan, you have to have a belief, and I think that they don't believe that Vea has a belief. Like you said, you thought she.
I mean, it's not for them to believe. But
and I think that's Vea's point. How dare you judge me when you have a wife who you've accepted as Christian, and she really has no plans on converting.
But to be honest with you, I think so. It's funny that Adnan is saying this, but I think she is supposed to convert. But
I think she's going to convert as well.
No, I don't think she's going to convert. I think you're supposed to convert.
No, I think you're supposed to, but I think Tiger Lily is going to. Adnan said he's not forcing it on her, but I don't know. I think that, and it's funny that when I was watching it, I said to myself, you don't force it on her, but I don't think for a second that you don't give her hell if you don't get your way.
I mean, at this point, honestly, she's doing the things that need to be done. So
that's what I'm saying. He's slowly working her, and I think that's what Sonny hopes he can do with Vea.
She's willing. She's willing,
though. That's the difference.
She's willing to cover up. You saw
right.
Vea is not. She's not there.
So basically, when Vanya asked if he would be willing to convert, he says no, because he's the man. Why would I do that? So then Magda chimes in that basically that's a bit unfair for him to expect her to change, but he's not willing to for her. And I said, Magda, this ain't your After we learned what Joey is out here almost missing flights for shooters, girl, just stay in the back and be quiet, girl. Just
And
stay
you
in the
talking for everybody else, but you hush mouth when it
Yeah. And
comes
not to mention, I thought you put your foot down before we left on last episode, and you said, I want a proposal when I get to America. And here it is, you're back in Poland, and you still with this man.
with no ring.
You better stand on business, speaking from experience. Just saying. Just saying. So
You, you
then
annoy me.
I'm just saying so that basically Sunny asked or Tiger Lily agrees that it shouldn't be forced on Vea. So then Sean asks where the relationship with the father stands. Sunny says that they talk about business, but their close relationship no longer exists. Sunny thinks that his father will eventually forgive him because they are blood. Joe tells her that she needs to understand that his dad is old school. And basically, she needs, I'm not even going to hold you. I was like, Joe, even though you're an F boy, I hear you. Yeah, you gotta show some respect when the parents is around. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't a hard. And she
I
was like,
know
well, if
you
I had
didn't say, eh, but you're an F boy.
don't do that.
You,
People have many sides. People have many sides to them. Don't do
girl,
that.
you like that F boy. I don't even know why you acting like it's a bad thing.
I told you I went to F Boy University, graduated with honors. Yeah, so no, anyway, basically Sonny says that he feels like his dad's gonna eventually forgive him because they are blood, and it's not like America. He ain't gonna disown him or nothing like that.
He's got so
And
much
then
hope for the future.
right, and so Joe tells her that she needs to understand. Oh, I already said that. Damn. So yeah, Adnan feels bad for Sonny's father and calls Vega a cheater. And then Vega is like, hold on, I want to make it clear I didn't cheat and I never have. And so then yeah, now we move on to Brian and Ingrid, and I'm so happy you got them because I don't want it.
So Brian said the last time we saw them, or production saw them, is the last time that they were together. Brian said that he does feel like Ingrid tried, but she wasn't ready for it all. And said that she was treating him like her 3-year-old son. And
Y'all,
she
I'm
said,
off camera because I'm saving this. I got a good read for his ass at the end. But go ahead.
so she said, I ain't never been through this before. This ain't normal to me. And she said she felt like it was normal to be overprotective. So then they get into their almost sex scene, and almost everybody agreed that oral is much more intimate. Adnan and Tiger Lily basically say, girl, you had this lingerie on, basically saying, look what I got on, but you can't taste it. Or, well, Adnan said taste it, okay? Ingrid compared it to wearing a bikini, and Tiger Lily said, girl, that's not a bikini. You had your whole
She
cookie falling
your
out.
cookie was out, girl.
I said, well, child.
Not the cookie.
And then he said, Brian felt like she was giving mixed signals because he was like, we stopped for condoms. And she said, I can't recollect. I don't know if it was that day or another day. He was like, yeah, it was that day. Now he said what happened was he was putting lotion all over her, even in the those places. Okay, it was getting a little hot, so they kicked production out. And then he went to kiss her stomach, and she pushed him away. And then he got in his wheelchair, and she put her finger on his nose and said, "I have a boyfriend." And she said, "Correction." I told him I met someone, but she said, "You know what? I work in healthcare, okay, and I know that you can get an STD from doing oral. So why would I let him perform that on me? And I don't know if he's healthy or not." Lauren said, "Gonorrhea, baby." I said, "You nasty mother."
He is so nasty
Right. So then they
and
brought out
proud
Brian.
and proud.
So then they brought
Did
out
you hear the
Brian's
part? I'm
father.
sorry. Did you hear the part about him when they were saying something and he said my aunt dropped me on my head in the escalator before I was one? He was so proud to say that.
Lauren just annoys me.
He's so socially
Now,
awkward.
if
He gives me
anybody, if
he
anybody,
you know who him he would get along with real well? Him and Statler. Him and Statler would probably do real well together.
I think she would get overstimulated. He now, if anybody were on the spectrum, I could believe
Lauren.
that it was
He's
Lauren.
probably undiagnosed, poor baby.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Brianna, she feels like her dad was more invested um than Ingrid was. And Niles wants to know how old Ingrid is. And she says she's 32. Apparently Ingrid is just 1 year older than
His
um
daughter.
his daughter, yeah. And Niles was like, yeah, that's a little weird. It's giving weirdo vibes, okay? Then they got into all the revelations that Ingrid found out about Brian. And everyone on the panel felt like, you know what, it was a lot. His daughter said it's cringe that he likes to test like to test women to make sure that they can deal with his disability. Lauren doesn't see what the problem is. He said, I don't understand. Isn't it normal to be around drug dealers? Everybody was like, Lauren, just please
No,
just
Lauren.
get this man off the stage. Like, please stop this man from talking.
Please. That's another one. STFU.
Yes. His daughter doesn't even understand how they had genuine feelings, how she had genuine feelings for him. She was like, she didn't even know much about him. Okay. In these 2 years, what did they talk about? She didn't know his real age. She didn't know how many times he was married. And Ingrid said, she wanted to know why all the relationships failed. And he was
Mm.
like, well, didn't she have 2 kids by 2 different baby daddies? Everybody was like,
Pause for the cause. All right. So, first of all, not only was that super disrespectful because that ain't got nothing to do with you. Her kids were before you. Second of all, if I'm not mistaken, she was in a marriage with one of them children.
mm-hmm.
So, yes, she may have 2 kids with 2 different baby daddies, but nigga, you have 4 marriages. And if I'm not mistaken, you proposed to 7 times. She had a right to ask that question. And for you to bring up because she was married and she had a baby for someone and maybe had been unmarried and had clearly had another relationship with somebody else and had another baby. But who the are you?
Who are you?
I am it I am surprised that he was able to find someone. And who said it to him? I think it was Vanya. You go after young girls, but a young girl, once they start to get some sense about themselves, they don't want to be with you because you're nasty. And you think because you got a little bit of money and you could throw it around, and because they're foreign, excuse me for saying that, then you can talk down to them and be condescending and say whatever you want to say and do whatever you want to do and treat people any type of way. I'm sorry. That Niles and Vanya, they outside, they talking. If I'm not mistaken, they on a break.
Mm-hmm.
And so Brian's out there too, and they all complain about Adnan. Niles feels like he needs someone, Adnan needs somebody to put him in his place. He thinks he and Matilda have the strongest relationship out of the season, which I kind of agree.
It
And
was
then
crazy when he said that though. Vanya and Brian was like, yeah, but there's a lot of
and
things,
yeah, I don't like the fact that you were rushed into marriage. And he's like, but at
and y'all
least
don't
I'm
even
married.
know how many
Look,
kids y'all
he's like, but
want.
at least I'm married. I got the premise of the show. What are y'all here for? Okay. So then basically Tiger Lily Adnan decided to go eat their food separately, or they were going to eat their food separately. But then Lauren encourages him to stay and says that they have his back. And then Lauren's pick me ass because he knows
I literally said
nobody else
he
don't
was
want to
kissing
deal
his
with him.
ass.
Right. And he's like, well, we're here for you. And Joe's like, I can't say that. He don't say it to his face, but he said
Literally,
it in professional. He was like, nah, he was like, Adnan is controlling as hell. And he was like, I don't want no parts of that. He's like, the way he be talking to her, I feel like it's super disrespectful. And he's like, and you see, she can't say nothing. She on mute. Okay. So then basically Vanya asks how he feels about Ingrid, and he says that he feels no way tired. Okay, no way is tired. And then once he leaves, Niles and Vanya both admit that He acted like a creep basically. And I think we said that, we covered that. And so Adnan talks about how he feels attacked and they want to change him. And so Lauren brings up Niles, and Adnan says that he doesn't care about being respectful anymore and he's going to say what he want to say. So Adnan addresses Vanya and Niles and tells them it isn't nice to meet them. And Niles addresses Adnan for disrespecting him in front of his father. And Adnan says, well, you disrespected me. And so then security gets in between them and separates them, and they end it, y'all. I ain't got my clap out.
Until next week.
Yes, unfortunately, which I felt like it could end here, but they don't want to do that. But yeah, y'all. So that was it for this episode of the Tell All Part 2. If we can bring y'all a little I do know the new 90-day cast is coming out, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised. A little unhappy. I thought we were going to get more of these couples on there, so I will say I was wrong in one of my predictions, because the only repeat couple we're getting is Harper and Shekinah. And I would have taken Niles, Matilda. I would have taken Joe and Magda. I would have taken any one of these except Lauren and Faith and Brian and Ingrid, of course, and anything that Vanya has going on. But I would have taken any of these, even Tiger Lily and Adnan. I think I could have dealt with them for another season. But yeah, y'all. So maybe we'll come back and give you like a preview of the cast before the season starts. But if you haven't already, please make sure y'all hit that like button for us.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure that you guys subscribe
and hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the BlueSky, the IG, and the Facebook. And I appreciate y'all because y'all be listening. Now I'm getting DMs and stuff, and y'all sending me stuff. And I like that little tea and stuff. So I appreciate that. So y'all keep doing that, reaching out, making us grow and glow on all platforms, especially the TikTok while it lasts. It's like while supplies last. So can y'all help us grow and glow? What you do, put in the hashtag mass following, whatever you got to do. Okay. But anyway, we love y'all, and we will catch you next week for part 3, unfortunately. Have a good night. Be blessed. Bye-bye.